The discovery of human remains, and a family in Nevada, Missouri picks up the pieces after weekend storms tear through the community. Hear how that community is now helping. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, a family trapped under a fireworks stand as severe storms roll through Vernon County. How they made it out safely. Plus, Baxter Springs firefighters will soon show off their brand new fire station. We get a sneak peek. And a summer food program looks to fill the gap for hungry families in Carthage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We have a late breaking story tonight. Authorities in northeastern Oklahoma are investigating the discovery of human remains. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The Delaware County Sheriff's Department released word this evening saying the report came in around 11 a.m. of remains discovered in a field north of Jay. Apparently, a person found the remains while brush hogging. Investigators have since confirmed that the remains are human. Now state officials are trying to determine the identity. Look for updates on KOAMnewsnow.com. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at the weather.
While temperatures are dropping down into the 70s, we do have cloudy skies for the rest of the evening, and we're even tracking a few showers. They're dwindling, though. We had some storms rolling through southwestern Missouri this afternoon along the cold front. Now that front is going to keep us a bit cooler. We do have those showers, as you can see down near Monette. Maybe a few showers, just tiny little pop-up showers lingering in the area, but all of that will clear out over the next 30 minutes to an hour. Now, once we get into Tuesday morning, again, we're starting off a bit cloudier. So this is about 8 a.m. No more rain chances, at least not for the next couple of days. And it is going to be drier weather, which is music to our ears. After that cold front pass, we've got cooler and drier weather, at least for the next couple of days. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
See you soon. Vernon County, Missouri authorities say yesterday's storms brought damage, primarily in the northern part of the county, taking down trees and power lines. The manager of the fireworks stand at the Nevada Speedway says her family was trying to hold down the tent as storms picked up. When she saw how serious it was, she drove her truck underneath to try to get her family in a safe place. Before they could leave, the stand collapsed on top of them.
Before we could get out, it collapsed around us. I had my daughter and my daughter-in-law actually made it out. Me and my son-in-law was beside the truck as one of the main center poles came down. And if it wouldn't have been for the truck that the center pole stopped, very good chance I wouldn't have my son-in-law today.
She says first responders were able to help get her family to safety. Now, with the support from the community, they're working to reopen in time for the 4th of July. Yesterday, severe storm hit electrical lines and left thousands in the Springfield area without power. City utilities reported a peak outage count at 37,000 customers last night. As Madeline Stamper reports, that number dropped after crews worked through the night and all day today to restore service.
This is a large-scale emergency.
City utilities facing its second emergency in 2 months after damaging winds on Sunday left thousands without power. Crews worked through the night, managing to restore power to roughly 29,000 customers in under 24 hours.
They're working 16-hour days, and they're working consecutive 16-hour days. And they will not stop until every customer has been restored.
Some of the most significant damage is south of Republic Road. Carolyn Brown lives off of South Cox Road.
We have a big limb that is like laying on our cars. We're hoping that it landed just right, so I'm very blessed that it just scratched. I can deal with scratches. There are other people that it hit their house, it's in their living room.
A power line blown down very close to her home. The road is blocked by barricades and caution tape.
People are just blowing through them, and then they are speeding through and going through the caution tape, almost hitting the electrical wire.
Bogged down with widespread damage, it's taking city utilities some time to repair and replace damaged lines.
It's a very difficult process, and we understand that being without power is very difficult. And our crews are ready to respond.
If you come across a downed line, turn around. And if you're still without power,
contact us to make sure that they have reported their outage. And they can do that by calling our outage hotline, which is
863-9001. That will ensure that we know that they are without power.
There are a couple of other things to keep in mind as you wait for power to be restored if you ever have an outage now or anytime. One, check your weatherhead for damage. That's the part that connects the power line to your home. If it's dangling or appears bent, you need to call an electrician to fix it. And if you have a fenced-in backyard, unlock your gate and secure your pets so crews can safely access where they need to work. The Baxter Springs, Kansas Fire Department is moving into its new fire station this week, 15 months after construction began on that facility. The $3 million building replaces a fire station that was built in 1926. Funding comes from state and federal grants. The department has provided a sneak peek inside. Firefighters have been assembling furniture and installing equipment. This coming Saturday at 9:45 a.m., trucks will parade from the old station to the brand new one. That'll be followed by a ribbon cutting ceremony and an open house until noon. Missouri Job Center in Joplin is taking a unique approach to helping young people get a new start in life while also addressing homelessness. The new Youth Build program is aimed at helping 16 to 24-year-olds earn a high school diploma along with an education in construction, leadership, and community engagement. Organizers say students will use these skills by building houses for people without homes.
Have their OSHA certification. They've also got CPR, first aid. They're going to have a PACT credential for construction.
I'd say don't be scared. Like, no matter what anybody says, just go out and do it.
Organizers say they're currently looking for a contractor. Anyone interested should contact the center. Kids in the Joplin area get to hone their survival skills thanks to a 3-day summer camp. Camp Wildcat teaches young naturalists such wilderness skills as cane pole fishing, shelter building, compass and map skills, leatherworking, and more. Organizers hope the fun camp gives kids a better understanding of conservation, as well as specifically understanding predators like raptors.
Mainly the conservation of raptors. They have a very high mortality rate in the first year. If a mated pair have 4 eggs, only one will survive the first year. So, and most of what happens to them is human-made.
Camp Wildcat welcomed kids ages 7 to 14. In addition to learning, campers also received lunch, snacks, a water bottle, and a backpack. That camp runs through Wednesday. The Grace Episcopal Church in Carthage is sponsoring its Lunches of Love feeding program to help area families. Its goal is to fill the gap in food access between the end of summer school and the start of the new school year. All families with children are eligible, no application needed. Each child will receive 1 bag of a variety of food available every Monday and Thursday during the program. Each bag helps ensure kids get the nutrition they need even when school is out.
Hunger is a real issue around the whole world, but in Carthage it also exists, and we think that people need their lunches, their protein and snacks in the summer just as well as they do in the school year.
Organizers encourage any family to ask for help when times are tough. Authorities charged 2 men in connection with the deaths of 3 Chiefs fans. That story is coming up, and on the lookout for business scams.
Tonight on KOAM News, we speak with a local business about how they train their employees to spot scams.
Happening now through Monday only at Ashley.
2 Missouri men already charged in the case of 3 friends found dead outside a Kansas City home could now face murder charges in that case. Authorities had already charged Jordan Willis and Ivory J. Carson with a single count of delivery of a controlled substance and 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say all 3 died of fentanyl and cocaine combined toxicity. They were found outside of Willis's home 2 days after the friends watched a Kansas City Chiefs game in January of 2024. Both Willis and Carson entered not guilty pleas to the initial charges. Prosecutors are now asking a judge to upgrade the 3 involuntary manslaughter charges to murder in the 2nd degree. The Better Business Bureau releases a new study showing business scams in the Southwest Missouri area are on the rise. KOAM's Ty Park shows us how one Joplin business is training its employees to spot red flags and ask the right questions.
Get a lot of calls from people pretending to be DoorDash representatives or point of sales services, so Clover or Square and things like that.
Lakin Pro manages the Joplin greenhouse.
Our owner's motto is to just always ask questions. You'll never actually have people like that asking for your login information. So if you ever get a call like that, that's just kind of your first red flag.
Red flags for scams targeting businesses, most of which fall into 3 categories.
There's stolen information, so like the data breaches that we unfortunately hear about all the time. There are impersonations, so could be a vendor impersonation, a government agency impersonation, and then fake services. So someone reaching out with a problem with your trademark or your domain is about to expire.
When it comes to a business avoiding scams, it is just like a consumer. It's slowing down, paying attention to the details.
So for example, if you get an email that says your domain is about to expire, either contact the person that runs your website, or if that's you, go to your domain host and log in directly and see that information for yourself.
Pro says the Joplin greenhouse gets 2 to 3 scams a week. For her employees, training plays a very important role.
We just have kind of trained all of our employees to just be very aware of who they're talking to on the phone, and if it's something that they can't handle, to just pass it off to somebody who's a little more experienced in that type of field, and we just try to handle it with grace.
And with that grace and persistence, this greenhouse is staying resistant to scams. In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
We have more information on scam prevention for you on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A little bit later, a Joplin church shines a light on a celebration of recovery. That's coming up.
And we've had a stormy weekend, and we're going to talk about how that affects the rest of our week.
The sale of the season is here. It's the with no trade-in.
Well, it's been a very stormy weekend, but that's actually good for us as we head into the rest of the work week. You can see, taking a look outside, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort out in Seneca, Missouri. We had a gorgeous sunset earlier today. We're dodging a few storms though, as you can see, now pushing nearly out of our area right along our southern border in Missouri. That's where those storms are now pushing into. Monette just got some heavy rain. There's still a few showers out there in between Neosha and Seneca, but overall, it wasn't as bad or detrimental as the storms that we saw on Sunday, but these are the storms that actually brought our cold front through the area, which means as we head into Tuesday, temperatures are only topping out about 86 to 87 degrees, and it's going to be a dry heat versus all of that humidity and that muggy weather that we see a lot during the summertime. Now, that stays pretty consistent for the next couple of days. 87 for our high on Tuesday, 89 for our high on Wednesday, and again, northerly winds, so we're not going to see that moisture coming in from the Gulf, not Tuesday or Wednesday. That returns on Thursday when those winds shift back out of the south and our temperature starts to warm back up, and our humidity increases because we get that moisture in from the Gulf. So it's going to be hot and muggy as we get into Thursday, with our actual temperature being about 90 degrees. But our feels like temperature, which is most likely our heat index, that's going to be 93 in Joplin, 97 in Veneta, 96 in Fredonia, 95 up in Stockton area and Nevada. So it's going to be pretty warm on Thursday. Gets even hotter as we get into the 4th of July. So our heat index value is going to be in the upper 90s, near 100. So it's going to be Baxter Springs, Miami, even up to Pittsburgh, Joplin, 98, 99. That's what it's going to feel like, even though actual temperature is only going to be about 91 degrees. Now you can see where it's a little bit cooler out there near Fredonia, Independence. It's because we're dodging a few showers on Friday and even on Saturday. You can see Lockwood and Aurora in the low 90s or the upper 90s feels like temperature, but the rest of us on Saturday, it's going to feel like 100 degrees. Now, like I said, we're dodging a few showers because by Thursday, we're back to seeing those southerly winds bringing moisture in from the Gulf, And with those high temperatures, we get a lot of rising air, so it's going to cause these pop-up showers, pop-up thunderstorms, and that's going to start by Thursday morning. You can see it's our long-range model, so it's not showing a lot of clarity, but in this area, we're going to see chances for pop-up showers, pop-up thunderstorms all the way through Thursday evening, even into overnight. Friday morning, you can still see southeastern Kansas, even into northeastern Oklahoma. Now, for the most part, Friday is looking pretty good. We've got early afternoon, mostly clear skies. A couple chances there pop up on the Kansas and Oklahoma side, but back into the evening, we're back to seeing clear weather. Now, heavier storms start to move in Saturday evening and into Sunday morning. That's going to be another front that passes, so it is going to be a little bit more widespread rain there Saturday night, Sunday morning. But for the 4th of July, mostly clear. Again, pop-up storm chances, but those are going to be pretty isolated.
As long as they're not isolated on top of anyone's 4th of July celebration.
That's what we're hoping for.
Thanks, Lindsay. We're learning more about how COVID damages cognitive function in the brain. A study published by JAMA found older people who were hospitalized for severe COVID saw their cognitive function decline faster than normal. But people who were infected by COVID but had less severe cases and were never hospitalized, they did not see an impact on their cognitive health. Obesity among young people in the U.S. has gotten significantly worse in the last 15 years. Researchers from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center found the biggest increase in youth obesity was among Black people. The research shows lack of physical activity, lack of access to healthy food, plus increased stress during the pandemic made the problem even worse. Still ahead, the St. Louis Cardinals try to stretch their winning streak to 4 games, and another Joplin Outlaw earns Pitcher of the Week honors. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
We're too nice to say no. It's why we said yes to delivering people.
Veteran suicide together. See you there.
We're 1 month into the 2025 regular season for the Mid-America League. The Joplin Outlaws find themselves alone in first place with a record of 21-7, and one of the biggest reasons for their success has been great starting pitching. And Joplin Outlaw Ty Zaradnik is named Pitcher of the Week by the Mid-America League today. He joins his teammates Cole Gaiman, Connor Johnson, and Easton Wren, who have previously received this award. Of the 5 times it's been given out this season, 4 have been members of the Outlaws. Zaradnik just completed his redshirt freshman year at UT Arlington. In 5 appearances for the Outlaws so far this summer, he's got a 2-1 record with an ERA of 2.49 to go with 33 strikeouts over 21 innings pitched. And he got the win on the mound this past Friday while throwing 7 innings, allowing just 1 run against Abilene. In Major League Baseball, the Cardinals, they're riding a little bit of momentum after sweeping the Guardians in 3 games over the weekend. But tonight is where that winning streak comes to an end. The Cardinals get shut out and held to just 4 hits as a team in a 7-0 loss to the Pirates. Pittsburgh explodes for 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th to put this one out of reach. Cardinals are now 47-39 on the season. That's still good enough for 3rd place in the NL wildcard. These two will play each other again tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Royals, they're up in Seattle, and the All-Star break can't come any sooner for them. Entering tonight, Kansas City has lost 7 of its last 8 games, and things are once again not looking great this evening. After jumping out to a 1-0 lead, the Royals have surrendered 5 unanswered runs. They trail 5-1 in the 6th as we come on the air. As you heard me just mention, we're getting closer to the MLB All-Star break. Today officially begins Phase 2 of All-Star voting. Major League Baseball announces the top 2 vote-getters thus far. American League, it's Aaron Judge from the Yankees. In the National League, it's the Dodgers' Shohei Ohtani. They also released a list of potential starters at each position. That includes Bobby Witt Jr. for American League shortstop. He's the only member of the Cardinals or Royals to make that list. In other sports news, we're in the midst of the 2025 regular season in the WNBA, and they announced a major addition of 3 new expansion franchises over the next 5 years, bringing league membership up to a total of 18 teams by 2030.
It's not every day you get to make history, but today we do it 3 times over. So it is my honor to officially announce that the WNBA is expanding from our currently announced 15 teams to 18 teams over the next few years. So on behalf of the entire WNBA, I'm thrilled to welcome Cleveland and Detroit back and to welcome Philadelphia.
And back to one of those other stories I was mentioning earlier, the Mid-America League Pitcher of the Week is quickly turning into just the Joplin Outlaws Pitcher of the Week. They've won it 4 out of the 5 times that it's been given out.
It says a lot about their pitching staff.
It does.
We'll be right back. The 3rd annual Freedom Party tonight brings families together to celebrate their loved ones in recovery. Pitt Naz Church, along with Pittsburgh Celebrate Recovery, hosted the event that started with some tasty food, then transitioned into testimonials and the program's monthly chip ceremony honoring milestones in recovery.
I think probably one of the things that makes me smile the most is just when you see the people that are coming in that have been here for 1, 2, maybe even 3 years, who were possibly struggling in some way when they started, and they're doing very well today. Not solely because of us, but that we are a part of that. But then at the same time, almost every week, we get to meet someone new.
After the worship service, attendees headed back outside for games and fireworks. Organizers say that tonight's family-focused event highlighted freedom in Christ, community support, and the joy of recovery. And not a bad evening to get outside tonight.
No, it was a pretty good one. We did have a few showers passing through the area, but that was along a cold front that's going to help us out for the next couple of days, with the highs only reaching the upper 80s, and it's going to be pretty dry. So good couple of days ahead.
Yeah, we'll take that for this time of year to start July for sure. Final sports note.
I was mentioning the Joplin Outlaws earlier. They've had the night off, but tomorrow they begin a 3-game home series against Sherman.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.